Well, we decided to go ahead and cut this big log. Now we know it's plenty dry, and that is a cedar, one of them Texas Aeromatic red cedar logs. And to be honest with you, that's probably about the max this sawmill's going to cut. Now, let me just see if I can get some kind of measurements here. It's going to be hard to do that with me. Well, it looks like it's close to 24, maybe 26, somewhere in there, by the time we get everything else. And oh, Gad burn, I sure need some help. And it's 103 inches, so that's 8 foot 7.5 inches, something like that. Like I said, that's gonna be the max for the sawmill. They got it straight, or else it wouldn't work at all. So I know I might have a little issue down here at this end, but maybe not. I think it's close. That blade guide roller down there just might hit it. But I think we're going to clear it by maybe an inch and a half. Maybe. We'll find out when we get that sawmill down. We'll see that. Okay, let me set the camera up. And also I might say that that old blade has done cut 1, 2, 3, 4 other logs. So I've probably got close to 40 cuts on it so far. And I cut one mesquite with it, and the other were cedar. So that's a softer wood. Now I'm gonna see how far we can get through this log before it starts jumping and diving, deflecting, and it gets hard to push. Now I know from building a sawmill, running it for these years that I have, if I have to push it too aggressively, that's telling me the blade's getting real dull. So we may stop in the middle of the video if it gets dull and change it out. And as most of you know, if you follow my videos, I don't have a professional photographer doing this. I'm just setting up the camera up here, my GoPro up on the top of my sawmill on a piece of square tubing, and hopefully it won't bounce too much and get you a decent shot of cutting the wood. As always, nothing seems to go perfect, but we got this thing flipped, and we're going to see how it's going to cut on this side. we fixed our screw up on the sawmill. I don't know if you saw the earlier part of the video, but we had that, I forget which wheel it was. I think it was that one over there. It was actually moving in. So we ended up rechecking everything, tightening everything back up, and so far it looks pretty good. You know, if you listen to a sawmill or anything that's a piece of machinery, it'll always tell you when something's going wrong. You just got to have a good ear, and you got to listen. If you look back here, right up against this right here, this pulley didn't walk on this shaft here, and that's the first time that has ever happened. But if you look over here, one of my set screws came loose here, and you see it walk back here about 7/16 of an inch backwards. You see it on this part of the shaft out here. So we're going to have to take tension off that pulley, loosen this blade up, and you can also see how the blade started walking forward. So eventually, if I wouldn't have caught it, this blade would have jumped off of here. And no telling where it would have went to. Maybe to China, maybe to Russia. Hell, I don't know. So we're going to release all that. We're going to get this shaft moved back forward, tighten it back in place, and we'll continue cutting here shortly. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that log. I've got me a flat surface on the top side, so I'm going to flip that either to the opposite side of the sawmill up against the stop, and I'm going to cut me a straight cut on this section here, and then I'm going to leave this section over here like a live edge. Because I get a lot of people want a live edge. They want a straight cut up against the wall on the opposite side, and they want a live edge on this side. So I'm going to take the time. It's going to be kind of tough, but we're going to flip that thing so counterclockwise and put this surface here up against the stop right here, and kind of try to get us a little flatter cut on this right side over here. I know it kind of tapers off quite a bit, so we're going to lose a little bit of wood over here. I mean, we won't lose it all. We'll be able to cut some, and some people might want to buy, but yeah, let's try that, and then we'll put the video back on. Okay, I decided to flip it this way. I think it was opposite of what we initially said. So let's see how it cuts out flipped on that side, and then we'll flip it back over and have a live edge one side and a straight cut on the opposite side.